How you became the Brown Owls.
Yeah.
Go on, Jack.
Oh, you know this story, Diana. We're always fighting about who should say what, but
Soul sisters, not even realising it, we've done so many things alike. You know, it was going to be inevitable for us to meet. You know, whether it was at the writing class or whether it might have been at a dance, I don't know. But I know that it's like, when we talk, it's like, oh my God, did you do that? Oh yes, and I was there. And we were just saying that before.
Yeah,
it was
on the way.
I don't know what it was, I can't remember what it was, but it's, 1998. Oh yeah, that's where I was up, you know. So
Yeah.
it's one of those.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I sometimes think things are like fated. You don't always know your road. Somehow you find yourself on a road. Maybe you dreamt that road, or maybe it was a fate thing for you to be on that road. But I do believe, you know, in fate, because who was to say, like 5 years ago, that I would have, well, I did start writing my novel in 2008, but I left it for 5 years. But who was to say that I'd be sitting here now with my partner Jaqi talking about, you know, 6 short stories that I've written, and lucky for me, you know, it's been published, and you know, it's it's a really good feeling, but it's something that happens. It's not something that you force. It's something that happens naturally, you know, and that's what I like about my life.
You're literally walking down a road and you're taking different paths and different turns.
Yeah, yeah. As long as as long as you're easy and that you're not kind of abusing yourself in any way, you know, I think that's how it works.
I do think that as we get older, the way in which we process information, the way in which we approach things, emotional intelligence and stuff changes. Because we're not. Let's face it, we're not girls anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
You learn from the letdowns, and then it became
and the successes.
Yeah,
well, yes,
correct.
but the letdowns helped me figure it out, and my thing was, well, I do it because I do it. I love it. I don't think I'm doing it for anything else. I actually love it because I can't stop. Even if things aren't working out, I love it. And this is me. And that was a big turning point when I realised I'm not going to be embarrassed because I do stuff. I just do stuff. It's who I am.
Yeah, and that again is one of the things of coming of age and getting used to who we are.
Exactly.
It's not an easy, like Voodoo said, it's not an easy road.
Exactly.
But
if you kind of just take it easy, and listen to your kind of gut instinct and listen to yourself rather than listen to other people, then you can find your way.
But that's where we fall down, I feel like. We're so often influenced, especially when we're young, by other people looking outside instead of what we are and not, you know, I mean, it's hard, like I said, it's hard to love oneself and to, you know, to even listen to the inner voice and trust it. I sometimes think.
Yeah. Well, I was always a rebel. I think I came out of my mum's rebel. And I will be a rebel.
Yeah, you can see that, can't you?
I will be a rebel until I kind of die. Because for me, it's the only way to be. It's to do what you want to do, and either way, it doesn't matter how you do it. If you're intelligent enough, you can maneuver yourself. But we are of a certain age now, and obviously we've been through strife and wherever. But it's a good feeling now for me.
Well, look, on that beautiful note of it being a good feeling, so I've asked these two amazing women to select some tracks, because not only, obviously, are they artists in their own right and performers, and we're going to hear their voices, but they are also lovers of music. I mean, Jaqi just recently did a jazz funk mega session for Portobello Radio. Just shout out to my friends and brothers, brothers from other mothers, my two white brothers.
Piers and Greg.
Yes, we love Piers and Gracie. And Portobello Radio, and you just did a session on Portobello Radio, played some banging tracks.
Yeah, they threw me in at the deep end. I thought I was going to be interviewed and sort of mention my tracks. And
no such easy thing.
No, you're going to present it. Okay. So, yeah, I dug deep into my digital crate and picked out my favourite songs from back in the day, or favourite tracks, should I say. But because it was all instrumental mostly, because it's jazz funk, and there were American imports back in the day, I was trying to get that feeling back and trying to remind everyone, we take it for granted we can get it at the tap of a button, but
it weren't like that back in the day.
No, because you had to wait a week to hear a track sometimes, and that DJ wouldn't tell you what it was. A whole week to wait. You know, the one DJ is going to play it.
Remember the days when we waited?
Yeah.
So
A
maybe
week.
we start with you selecting one of the tracks that I have in this playlist that
Okay.
you chose,
Mhm.
and then I would love to hear some of the stories, because you spoke a bit about some of the stories around the jazz funk, but maybe more generally about the stories of your music days.
Yeah, sure.
So what do you want me to play, sis?
This is my memory now. Sweet Power.
That's a beautiful
Yes,
tune.
you have.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear that
Mason,
one?
yeah.
Let's go. Sweet
Yes.
Power, and that's by
Mason. Somebody Mason.
James.
Mason. I'm too old.
It's a beautiful tune, this one. Power, your embrace.
Favorite. I love this track. I love this track so much.
See, it gets so hot,
Yeah, it does get hot.
and the window's open, the freaking fan's on. Yeah, this has got a really nice energy.
Yeah,
Probably need this in the winter.
yeah, exactly.
See that fan on. Are you guys okay in the back?
Yeah,
The fan behind you.
Yeah, I can't actually feel the fan, but yeah, because you were just looking at me, and I thought I can't.
How's that?
Oh yeah.
Tune.
I was watching something on Netflix all about African women and our hair. There's a thing about like body
Yeah,
water, that whole thing. And it's true, the sister was like, our hair can go up, it can hang down. It was like, you just put something through it and it's like straight, and it's true.
Yeah.
We can do so
Versatile.
much with
So
our hair.
many things.
Flats.
Yeah.
Everything. So I was a hair model. I could talk about it all day.
Oh my, you really,
Yes.
between the two of you, you've like done everything, haven't you? Oh
We
my
were just
God.
saying before, we've done so much in
Yeah.
our lives, but all on like that.
And we keep having these senior moments. It's
That's
awful.
all. Yeah, can you imagine if you remembered every single thing that happened to you?
No way.
Like all the pain, all the hurt, all the horrible
much.
experiences. It would drive you mad.
Too much.
Well, I wrote songs for every bit of pain
Yeah,
I
so
had.
have I. That's right.
I wrote them words down, so I can't even read some of my bits.
Oh, so you can't remember everything then because you've got the songs and memoirs.
If I read them, I get, oh gosh, who's that over? I remember the pain. I'm like, but I don't know who it was about.
Maybe that's just as well.
Yes.
Your embrace. Oh, I just love it. It's my favourite. Here again, your sweet power, your embrace all around me. I am safe. Your sweet power, your embrace. I'm feeling. Here again, your sweet power, your embrace all around me. I am safe. Your sweet power.
The tune that I want, which is the one of the Gil Scott Heron tune, that goes on for 12 minutes. So you can always cut it. The Gil Scott Heron. It's a B movie.
Oh yeah. Is it 12 minutes? I've got it,
Wow.
I think.
You still go around Portobello though, still?
Yes, this is the Eclectic Goddess, and of course this is the Speak Your Truth show here on Feferity Radio, the nostalgic station, with my special guests, who are Diana Brown and Jaqi Loye-Brown, both in the studio live and direct.
Nice.
So yes, thank you so much for your presence here. And we were just talking, Jaqi, just before we played your track "Sweet Power of Your Embrace" by James Mason,
Mhm.
about your set that you did for Portobello Radio, because what was really incredible about the set, apart from the music, was the fact that you also told some stories about your early days in the music industry, and I'd love to hear more. I'm sure our guests would love to hear more from both of you. How did you both, I mean, you spoke about how you got here and you kind of like went from Birmingham like a brummie, bold-faced brummie, straight
Yeah.
into the London scene.
Yeah.
But how did you kind of select the music genre that you were going to be involved in? And you as well. There's so many opportunities. How did you decide what to go into? How, select, what was it? Love of music? What was it?
Well, I wasn't sure. I knew I liked performing. I was into acting, the whole thing. And I did A-level drama and things. But locally to me, this is how I got into music. I kept going on. Every time I saw a guy with a guitar, I go, I'm going to ask him if he's in a band and if I can play. And I said it so many times that my sister thought she was going to dare me and put me, just had me on the spot when we saw a whole band. There was a whole band on this wall outside this pub. And she said, I'm going to go and ask them. I went, no, don't do it. And then she dared me. And she didn't think I was going to go, yeah. So I just thought, I'm going to have to go because she's just set me up. So I joined the first band to get into live music, and they played soulful stuff. I had to learn Melbourne Moore first off. Who you remind me of, actually, Melbourne Moore. So that was my first entry into music, live, hearing it
So
live.
you literally were boldface.
Well, yeah.
I'm going to sing with your band.
Yeah. Well, they said, come in. We're just over there. We're rehearsing over there. What could I do?
Oh, that's sounding very much like what you were talking about kind of that destiny thing. Oops. That destiny thing.
Yeah, well, I was 15 and I was at school. And I met a guy called Barry K. Sharp. I have to say it because it's what happened. And we used to go dancing all the time. Dance, the Embassy Club, all the really good crackers and everything like that. And he realised that I was a good dancer. So from being a good dancer, I went to Italy, had a great time over there. And he called me up and he goes, Diana, do you want to start a band? And I've gone, what, Diana Brown? He goes, yeah, and the Brothers. And so I came back from Italy and we started a band, which, as I said, became the Brand New Heavies and whoever else it became. And we kind of made the music like that. Barry was very into this kind of funk music, which we used to dance to. And we kind of collaborated that with me singing and writing the songs. And that's how we got like the Rare Groove thing together. It was kind of, it was all an amalgamation of everything, That's how I started my music career.
Was it easy at the time?
Well, it was easy because it's always easy if there's two people. You can always, he always say to me, oh yeah, you can do it. And I say, yeah, great, because I wasn't a brilliant singer. I'm not a brilliant singer, but I can sing. You can get your singers that are really brilliant, they've got their really beautiful voices like Mariah Carey and all those kind of ladies. And then you get someone like me who sings, but I haven't got that kind of range. But I can sing my own tune. And that's exactly how it worked out for me.
Yeah, mine was definitely a whole lot different. But the part where I was working with different bands, that I did cheat it a little bit because there were a lot of indie bands in Birmingham, and at the time what was very fashionable was to have a black singer doing backing vocals. So I just used to dress the part.
Still fashionable.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So I just used to wear these massive hoop earrings, try and look like Sade, black leather jacket, jeans, and I just turn up to auditions to be the backing vocalist, and they wouldn't listen to a word. They'd never even let me sing a note. You're in, just because of that. And when I cottoned on that I could do that, I just worked my way around all the bands in Birmingham to do live, and I cut my teeth that way.
Was it like, I mean, obviously I'm going to sound really ignorant now, but since I came to this country in 77, I've only ever lived in London, so I don't really know outside. As I tease people, say, past Watford, but like, was it easier to get into bands in Birmingham than it was like back in the day in London?
It was easy in Birmingham. Like we had UB40 had come out of there, King, that band, and This Child's Nothing But a Ghost Town, Specials from Coventry. There was a thriving indie.
The Midlands were kicking ass.
It was thriving. So you had all the levels. Those were actually out there in the charts, and then all the way down. And there were lots of recording studios. Rich Bitch, if anyone's listening, they'll know that was like the powerhouse. And we'd go there to record singles or demos, whatever. You paid money for that. So when a band was doing that, they're serious. So that's how I got into live.
But was it, I mean, like, you're talking about recording studios. I know it's quite expensive now, but I mean, back in the day when you were like in, like, for you in Grove and you were in Birmingham and when you came to London, was it like everybody could just afford to go and cut something, or was it really?
You had to have some form of a record deal, or you'd have to. I mean, you could. go to rehearsal studios, obviously, and rehearse, but to actually cut a track, you need to have a record deal of some sort, because otherwise you couldn't go into a 24, 46 or 68 track studio.
I don't know, your Jackie's looking like she managed in both
yeah,
places.
but she comes from Birmingham, I come from London. It's a different thing.
Yeah, it is two different things. It is two different things. So if you're in a band, what used to happen, the band would pull together or get management, and they'd pull together and pay for studio time to do their demos to send to London to go and get the record deal. So I never ever paid a penny, by the way. I'm the backing vocalist. So and then what used to happen also was showcases. So the bands would go do a showcase, play their gigs, and there'd be A&R in the audience.
Like on those Thursday night things.
Student night, whatever. I'm there trying to, load up the van with the drummer and all that. And what would happen there is I used to get picked up by anyone that was management or something in the audience. They'd come and have a word with me afterwards and say, what would you like to do a track? Blah, blah, blah. And that happened.
So they were scouting for you.
Scouting.
As well,
so, and I was always aware of that. But it's embarrassing because they wouldn't want the rest of the band. So, but this was because it's a sexist industry and it was based on looks. And I milked it for everything I had because it was all about looks. They weren't listening.
Not to say we're not beautiful older women, but youth talks and it has power. Yeah. And it's true. When you think about how we look back, what I looked like when I was in my teens or 20s.
Absolutely,
it was
beautiful.
Easy to,
That's right. But the difference between me and Jaqi is that I actually had a partner to push through with. I didn't have to go and do that because I wouldn't have had the kind of face to do that. Not like face. Yeah. I was always kind of shy. But I have always, because I'm an Aquarian and we work better with people. I work better with people.
You carry the water.
Yeah, I carry the water, and that's the difference between Jaqi and myself, is that Jaqi had to do it on her own, whereas I had a partner to do it with, and it was better. But I did have lots of argument. It wasn't sweet. It wasn't plain sailing, even with a partner. It was not plain sailing because I was dealing with a man. You know what I mean? And, men can get very difficult. Yeah, they can get very difficult when it comes to kind of being on stage and, and blah, 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 and sorting everything out. But at the same time, we both managed to go and to do the thing that we love to do, but in a completely different way.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I'm listening to both of your stories. Obviously, I know Grove more, though I didn't grow up in Ladbroke Grove. Ladbroke Grove, when I was a teenager, I was like, OMG, this is the way I want to live.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah,
exactly. I had an epiphany.
Look, there's people that look like me.
Yeah.
But it sounds like, I'm kind of wondering, like, was it more cutthroat in like Ladbroke Grove trying to do what we were doing? Or was it more cutthroat in Birmingham, where obviously for a Brummy band, they had to send all their stuff to London because, we're always London centric.
Yeah, that's right. Whereas I was in London and I saw the competition. I mean, I went to live with my boyfriend in East London, so we were in the West End all the time. So that's where it was all happening, the Wardour Street, the Wag Club. It was all to do with fashion and music. That's where I come from, fashion and music. And it blends together, and that's how we became Diana Brown and Barry K. Sharp, and it was the music and all the people that we knew, and the funk and this, that and the other, and that's what happened for us.
Right, so I think now we need to play one of the tracks that you chose, Miss D. Brown.
Yeah.
Is it the one that is... Actually, it's 7 minutes and 14.
What? Gil Scott Heron. Okay. Yeah, you can.
And we put a little bit of underscore on. So why did you choose this track?
Because it's kind of radical.
Radical.
Yeah, it's a radical track, and
Does it fit with a rebel that came out of her mother's womb?
Yeah. Yeah. This is a very beautiful track. I mean, the words and everything. So I'm happy with that.
You can't go wrong with Gil Scott Heron.
Exactly. I nearly had one.
And the King Larry, our little master from Jaqi, on the percussion.
If you need a fan,
and we leave you with this idea here.
No, I'm all right. You need the fan. So you're going through menopause now, or what?
No, I'm nearly finished, but it's still going on. It's going on and on and on.
So bad with the sweats and the prickly sweat as well, and it would happen in the most embarrassing places. I'm just asking for a chewing gum. And I'm thinking, I hope he doesn't think I'm in love with him.
Oh no, but you know what? I used to think sometimes I'd be in a shop.
Yeah.
And I just go suddenly bright red and just start. And I think that they think I was shoplifting or something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? There's something wrong with me. Why is this woman just sweating?
Yeah. Let's just take it. I'm over it now. I feel like I'm 27 again. Thank God.
Oh, I'm much much happier with the menopause.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
That bleeding every month, man.
It was so painful. It just drove you insane. I don't even know I had a relationship when I was doing that.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
We had to go through that.
And we have to go through it from the time when you know,
Trousers.
bleeding on the sheets when you're a kid.
Yeah.
How many pairs of underwear,
Towels.
trousers and stuff get black? You know, when you're learning to just manage it and you don't
Still
know.
wear black. Still wear black. I was a kid that had to put on a pair of white jeans. Do you remember when white jeans was in? I was like this.
That
Here
happened to
goes.
my friend, you know. We
Yeah.
were literally out talking to some boys. We were teenagers. She was wearing the white jeans
Yeah.
from the 80s. Started
Yeah,
bleeding.
there you go.
A cardigan around her waist.
That's right. Been there.
And
It goes rusty colour. You can't get it out.
The things we've had to go through being women, it's sad.
Yeah.
no, my great grandmother had 10. My grandmother had 5.
My grandmother had 10.
No,
both
no,
of
yeah,
them.
no,
my
my brother had 3 and then I got 2.
And I never had any at all. You know,
Too many previous generations.
yeah, but not only that, I didn't think that the man would stay with me. You know, that was a very big important thing for me.
Oh,
Because I
yeah,
wanted me, my man, to stay with me and see this whole thing through.
That's how I
and I
felt.
knew that was going to be an impossible feat
Oh
for
my
me.
God, that's exactly me.
You know, if I was a multi-millionairess, that might have been different.
I just wanted to be married.
That's exactly me.
I wanted to be married. I didn't want any more like, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Out. Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
too many of that. All that
That's exactly me, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, that is definitely a track. And of course, that was the late, great Gil Scott Heron with B Movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was an incredible rock
Message.
brother. So,
He
yes.
was.
So, and yes, my guests are Jaqi Loye-Brown and Diana Brown, and we're talking about your music careers. So, both coming from different paths, but you both ended up in a similar kind of musical genre.
No.
No?
No. Right, you go
Because
first.
I know we got a Jungler's track from you.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know about the
Master plan.
Master Plan. Like I said, big shout
Classic.
out to our beloved Mark,
Yeah.
who often comes on Portobello Radio and plays that track repeatedly. So we know that track. But
Yeah.
okay, so it's different genres.
Yeah, different
Yeah.
genres. Mine was more red roof, funk, dance, kind of heavy that way. And Jackie's
Well, yours was the where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
I wanted to be soul so much. But when I used the same technique when I got to London to
Tried and tested.
I thought I'm just going to do it in a bigger pond and just sing with lots of bands and see what catches. And so I went in the Melody Maker. So I was doing a hair show, came down to London for the
You were
show.
also a hair model.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a hair
Just to add
model.
another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was doing this hair modelling and I finally got in. I was in London every week rehearsing and stuff, and I'm making new friends. So I got the Melody Maker and I went to the back, classifieds, singers wanted. Right, where am I going to go? And this bloke wanted Lisa Stansfield sound-alike or something, which I am not. But I went for it, and the reason he chose me, A, he said I look the part. B, he said you sound commercial enough for what I want to do. And he put his mortgage up and bought all this equipment that I knew he was desperate. He had to get a deal. There was no getting around it. And that is how I got a deal in 6 months. So he just was the guy I knew we were going to get a deal just because of his know-how and the people he knew, etc. So I just went along for the ride, and we got a deal with Virgin. So that
That at the time was also another local radio,
local
radio label.
yeah, it's a local
Yeah.
label, in Ladbroke Grove at the top there. And so, but we had 3 choices. We had 3 labels we could have gone with within AVL, which it was known as then. And 10 Records was the one I was desperate. Please get me near Loose Ends. Please let me get on that. And he didn't want to do it. He wanted to go on the one that was more indie, and yet he was using electronica music. So upset. So this is how I never got to do the music that suits me the best, which is soul and funk. So I went down this pop dance, what was dance at the time, alternative dance genre. And then our single didn't come out, it didn't come out. I went through all the rigmarole this didn't come out. So upset. It's
Well,
very.
he must have been more upset as he mortgaged his house.
Do you know something? No, but he got the deal. We got the deal, so we got money. So he was all right in terms of that.
Sorted then.
Yeah, his parents didn't disown him. Sorry, Richard, if you're out there. But the trick of that, the whole thing of that, when I fast forward it, so I had to sort of think, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do next? And then someone introduced me to PWL, Pete Waterman, his label, and I went over there, and then they hit me up with this rave music coming out of Belgium, and I joined this band called Anticapella, and I thought,
You really have been
Yeah,
this
she
is real. This is the eclectic goddess.
Yeah,
I mean, but this seriously.
Yeah, she's done everything to
Yeah,
try and make
literally.
it.
right,
Yeah.
so I'm doing this rave stuff, but it took me to Japan a couple of times, first class.
Yeah.
You know, it had the best because the band was Praga Khan, and they're huge. They're like huge in film, everything. So I got the first class treatment, even though they were a massive band in the UK. They were massive around the world.
And was that your first single that you released?
That's one that actually got out. Those I did a few. They got out, those ones.
And what
And
about you, Diana? What was your first? Was it you and Barry? that
Yeah,
released
my
something?
first single was Yes It's You, which was a child's, I can't outlaw, please don't ask me. Anyway, yeah, it's a Yes It's You, and it was
I'm going to make you sing it right now, Jaqi.
no.
Joking.
Yeah, and Sweet Child, it was a Sweet Child. No, it wasn't, it was Blind Faith. That was our first tune out, Blind Faith. That was a long time ago, but it was something that, the greatest thing about my life is that I've always done what I want to do. If I look at Jaqi now, I've got to look at her with respect, because she had to go around the mulberry bush to get, what she wanted. I wouldn't have been able to do
And
that.
didn't give up. That
And
was the
didn't
thing.
give
She
up,
just
which
kept
is
going.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You know, okay, it's not what I want to
Yeah.
do, but I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, which is really good. Whereas I was lucky enough to be able to do my thing with someone else, and the things that I like, and the music that
Yeah,
I
it's
like
true.
to do.
I think I'm too lazy. I think I have to stand with you with respect for what
Yeah.
Jaqi just
Yeah,
did.
I had
I think
to.
I would just be like, no, okay, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do something else. The
yeah.
fact that you persisted as
Yeah.
well.
Well, yeah, it's a connection. So it was. That's what I kept thinking. I'm going to make connections. I forgot that wasn't my first single. My first single was in the 80s.
Oh, you see?
Chili,
You see?
Chili and the Groove Gangsters. I was Chili, and the guy that did the music did Top of the Pops theme tune. So I thought, oh
Wow.
gosh, I'm on my way. I'm in the right company.
And maybe it's the geekiness as well, because the fact that you've done so much research, like you looked at literally like worked out exactly who was where the jigsaw
Without
was.
without the internet, I can't explain how my life would have been different if I had the
Oh my
internet.
God,
Yeah,
there'd
but
be
we
no
didn't have.
stopping you now.
Yeah, but you didn't have the internet. But
Yeah,
you
but
still,
no
as a
more.
woman, as a black woman, it was a very good thing that she did, because that it means like stepping forward. And not a lot of women would do that.
And putting her face in all those places, because there's a whole thing, isn't it, about putting us in boxes.
Pioneer.
Yeah.
Well, you're a black woman, or all of us, a brown skin or a light skinned woman.
I carried
a
it.
pretty young woman or whatever, and you only belong in one
was
space,
very-
but you just went everywhere.
I was
Yeah.
very
very
aware.
good, man.
I was very aware, and I didn't see why. I was very defiant about that. Going, I don't see why a black girl can't sing in this space. I just didn't see why not, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to try. I actually did have those thoughts and those feelings, like, well, maybe I'll be the next Kylie, but she can pick out a tune. She can pick out a tune. That one.
Yeah, she's not.
Yeah,
she can
but-
choose the right tune.
But let's say Bananarama really annoyed me, and they motivated. They motivate me.
So you just
I thought-
reminded me about the 80s.
I thought,
girl.
yeah. I thought if they do it, I'm gonna have a go. I ain't gonna be
Good
worse
for
than
you,
that.
Jack, man. Really good for you, Jaqi.
No, you have to have massive respect. It's true, actually. We shouldn't allow anyone to put us in boxes, and that's easier said than done.
Yeah, they did put me in the box.
I know. Are you stopping at the moment?
No,
The thing about
don't worry.
me,
I'll make it known. We're going to be stopping in a minute.
You know what, right? For me, I never saw colour as a problem. And I don't know if it's because, I don't know, but I never saw colour as a problem. I saw art. I always saw the art. When I looked at myself in the mirror, I used to think, well, that's me. I didn't see the colour of my skin. I was just me, and that is how I think I am still today.
I think that's very unique for this country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they put us in boxes and they make us into whatever label.
Well, I wouldn't allow them to do that to me, because I'm not going to allow that in my lifetime, because we're only on this planet for a very short amount of time, and I'm not going to let anybody do that to me.
Yeah, well, as soon as it was being done to me, I stepped out. As soon as I sensed it, I'd be like, this is what's happening here. All right, I'm out. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be back with Jaqi Loye-Brown and Diana Brown, and we'll continue talking about these two women who have never allowed anyone to box them in.
No way.
Hell no.
Exactly.
It's turned into quite a show, man. I don't think I've talked about these things in a while.
Oh, that's what we're going to get you in here. Get the stories going out. Get the stories going out.
Chili and the Groove Gangsters.
Yeah.
That's my first track.
But that is amazing, though.
Yeah. It is amazing.
Because it's true, like in the 80s as well, or whatever, 90s, you know, there was this.
Yeah, but
things have changed a lot now.
True,
but
but
back
you
then.
know, in the olden days, like not a lot of women slept with man to get to where they're going.
That's true.
Yeah, we
You
didn't
know what I'm
mention that.
saying?
Bring that
Like
up.
if you look at
Should
someone
bring it
like
up.
Madonna and people like that,
Oh, yeah.
they would never have been anywhere if it weren't she slept with a producer, she slept with this, that, and the other. Whereas
I wouldn't
with
do it.
Jaqi, even though Jaqi never became a big star,
Would have
but
done
she
if I did.
Yeah, and so would I have. I would have become a big star if I would have slept with. And I thought,
Don't say that out loud.
no, I wouldn't. I would never say that because obviously it's not
Yeah,
important enough.
yeah.
But what I'm
No,
saying
it
to you
is.
is I wouldn't have never. I couldn't. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's why we became writers because we couldn't make it as singers if we didn't sleep our way to the top.
That's
And
simple.
that's something I remember.
Me
It's
too.
true.
Yeah.
You know, so you've got to listen
But
to
even
your
like,
gut, pimping out your daughter.
Pimping
That's
Out Your
exactly
Daughter,
what a
exactly.
lot of women do. Yeah.
Write it down. That's your next poem.
Pimping out your daughter.
Well,
Ooh,
you
yeah.
can remember it from there. Look,
Absolutely.
you can,
And then we can have a proper conversation about that one.
yeah, pimping out your daughter. But they might not like it though.
Yeah,
People.
don't
That's
name
true, though.
names.
Do we care what they like or not?
No, true.
Don't get sued.
And there's so much to talk about.
I know.
We
Yeah.
can never talk about everything.
No way.
Exactly.
We're too old.
No
There's so many
way.
years.
There's
Which
so many
decade? Pick a
things.
decade. That's
Oh
like.
yeah. Yes, all day, every day. You are listening to Feferity Radio, and you're listening to the Eclectic Goddess with the Speak Your Truth show here on Feferity with my special guests, Diana Brown and Jaqi Loye-Brown, live and direct in the studio.
Yeah.
Grove women, in fact, well, far from Grove as well, international, global women.
Yes,
So
that's
yes.
right.
We were talking about some of your early stories, as it were, about moving into the industry and how you got in there and what you didn't do in order to get to where you are. And what's really interesting as well is that you have a very different approach, coming from Birmingham, coming from London. But in the end, you both ended up doing kind of what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And we're at a stage now where you have just released well, actually, before we talk about Brown Owls, maybe let's talk a little bit more about the writing journey. So we started off, you met in a writing group, but obviously, Jaqi, you've already published a number of books.
Yeah.
I know a bit about your
Yes.
story on Portobello Radio. I don't know as much about
Okay.
your writing,
I'll let you
Diana.
know
So
after.
maybe Diana, you tell us about how you went from the writing group where you were writing before and kind of where it got you to, and then we can hear a bit more about your story because our listeners won't know the whole story of the the book.
Well, I was in a relationship and it wasn't actually going very well. It was coming to the end of a relationship, and I went to Italy and I started writing. And then I eventually, like up to last year, eventually wrote a novel with like 102,000 words, and it's called The Shift Pandemonium, right? And I've
It's
rewritten
an
it.
intriguing title.
Yeah, and I've rewritten it, and that's that. And I stopped for 5 years, and then I continued, and I thought, my God, Diana, you can write. I didn't know that I could write. I used to write little stories when I was younger, maybe 8 or 9 at home, but I never knew I could actually write a book. So I wrote this book, and that's when I decided to go to the writing class. Someone told me, I think a lady called Viola told me about this writing class, and I started going to the writing class, and it was really interesting for me because, it was like learning that I can write. And
It's a weekly thing that you were
it's
doing?
once a week. It's a Monday evening, and it's only for, I think it's 2.5 hours with a really lovely teacher called Yasmin, and it's just great. She makes you think, you write, and then you go forward like that, and that's where my writing career started.
And did you intend to start writing prose? Had you ever, you said you've written short stories. Have you ever, obviously you've written music, and that's more
Yeah,
like
I've
poetry
written-
in a way. Was
yeah.
there a particular thing that when you started off the writing, did you have an idea of where it would end up, or did you just let it take you on the journey?
I just let it take me on a journey because I've written a novel, and after the novel, as I said, I went to this class, and then from the class, this lady, Yasmin, got us to write short stories and this, that, and the other, and that's how I started writing short stories because I didn't know about short stories. I didn't know that one. And that's how I got to work with Jaqi.
And is there a particular genre that you were interested in, like horror, anime, or romance, or I don't know, or are you just who you are, the rebel?
Speculative fiction.
Ooh, I like the sound. Speculative fiction.
Yeah, which is like, it's almost like magic. It's a magic kind of
Magical
area.
realism.
Yeah, magical realism, but always with a twist of realism. You
So
know?
it's like, so they call it, I mean, maybe it's not, I don't know if it's appropriate for us, black girl magic.
Maybe it
Almost
could be. I haven't
hashtag.
actually thought about that, but it's to do with women. It's always to do with women and relationships and how they break up and how they form and lots of little things like that.
Wonderful. And Jaqi.
Yeah, big up
Well, obviously
to
we've got the Dutty Sink
drama.
trilogy.
Yeah.
Trilogy, isn't it?
No, there was the DJ trilogy,
Yeah, sorry, the DJ.
and then Dutty Sink drama anthology followed after. So I can't believe I've actually been able to get my tongue tied around it myself finally. But when I met, I want to say big up to Yasmin Arden, our workshop leader. When I met Diana in the class, she said she'd written her 80,000 odd word manuscript. I was really impressed. So I was just doing my
That
MA.
is I mean,
Yeah.
writing 12,000 words is hard.
Yeah.
80,000?
No, 108,000.
There you go.
Okay,
That's the end of it.
108.
There you go.
Yeah.
Even more.
There you go.
More.
80,000 is the minimum needed for a novel. So that's in my mind. But I was doing an MA at the time in creative writing, and I wanted something else to boost supplement the course. And it was lovely being with all these women with real stories, no affectations, just real grit. And that's what I felt like I needed. And I couldn't believe I was getting all this wonderful energy from the women, and it really helped me with my course. And when I heard that Diana had done that many words and stuff, I thought, oh, she's serious. She's serious. And then I got to know from there, and that's how we started finding out that we had similar paths. And it was just sort of meant to be. And then we had a coffee, and we were standing in Portobello, and I said, well, I've got this Portobello novella line. There's another word for it, but I've got this label. Should we just call it that, or should we go? I said I always wanted to work with someone, so I used to working on my own, as you've just heard, and I just thought she would get me and I would get her. That much I knew. To be in the industry at all, music industry at all, means you've got to have had some. We've got to have gone. You've got to have grit.
I was about to say tough skin.
Yes,
So
real.
you have a beautiful, glowing, glittery skin.
But I get it. Yeah. There was something that. So I thought, her metal is definitely there, and maybe I might waken it up if there's anything lying there latent. But I just thought, let's see how this goes. So we started off with a pamphlet, and I obviously knew about short stories and all the various kinds of prose that are out there, and poetry, etc. So I thought, Diana is so out there, because listen, you don't want to read that manuscript. I'm telling you, it is wild. And I thought, wow, it's got to get published. It's so out there, and I was so impressed. We've got to work together, and let's find a way that we can use it as a demo. And I said, we had demo tapes back in the day. 2 brown owls, a pamphlet, will be our demo tape. Demo tape number 1 in a book form.
Demo tape in book form.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and I just wanted to use it's transferring of skills, isn't it? Transferable skills. So use the same sort of marketing to bring to our writing journey, which is total coincidence that we're both doing that.
It's fantastic. And before we carry on talking about the brown owl journey, I want to play another track that you selected. Try and cram in as much music as
Yes,
we can,
of
because
course.
before you know it, the whole
talk show.
2 hours will be over. So you chose a couple of tracks. We all which one did you want me to play next?
I can't remember, what did I send?
We
I've got so
the,
many.
the Praga Khan one.
That's my song, that
Yeah.
one. Yeah, well,
Should we go with that?
yeah, it's alive now. Hold on to your hats.
Listen, this is a banging track, people. Here we go. It actually is a banging track.
Thank
It
you.
is. How wonderful.
I love this track.
You know
It's
how
wicked, isn't it?
wonderful is this? But not only is it book writing and singing, but now we've got the wicked tune. It's unreal, isn't it?
Oh, it just reminds me of a time.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. This is 1980s.
This is 90s.
90s.
Yeah. MCMC.
Them was the days, man.
Yeah.
Music sounded
When
like
this
this.
first came out, this kind of jungle.
Yeah.
Remember it? Were you in London?
Yeah, London.
Danny
I
Rampling.
just thought about it.
Remember
Yeah.
Danny Rampling?
Yeah, of course.
The
What's his leaving party?
Putting you the
Go
new.
on.
Do you know how many leaving parties he has?
Yeah, we went to
Why
the
did he
first
keep
one,
leaving
Danny
or something?
Rampling. The big
Yeah.
when it first came out this evening.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it, man.
I remember. Yeah. Nice work. And you're finding out about each other as well, isn't it? Begin from all. I need to get my royalties, that's what I need.
I don't know how they can pick it up over the years that you've lost.
They can't do the years, I think. I think it can only go back 2 years. But all my songs are on Instagram and YouTube, as in music you can choose to download.
Okay.
They're getting paid.
Well, you better do it.
Do you ever get asked to perform this?
I don't?
Do you ever get asked to perform
Yeah,
this?
I performed it. Loads. All over the place.
No, I meant like more recently.
No.
That's
Oh,
what
that's 90s. That's what I'm saying, it's 90s. Oh, well, I'm hoping, that'd be good.
You never know. Actually, maybe people might end up playing. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
we want to do to promote our work, we want to have like little nights. Every time we go
Oh,
out
one of
and we
these.
bring out one of them, we're going to have a little dance. Yeah, and we're going to invite a lot of people, and they pay and they get one of our books. Like, you know what's it called?
Good idea.
Yeah.
So when they buy the ticket, they'll get one of our things, and then they'll get. I said anyway.
That's a brilliant idea.
It is a brilliant idea because
nice
then we
to hear
can get
it.
a load of people in who buy our book. Following?
Yeah, build up the
And
social.
then we
Yeah.
get a deal. Because that's the only how else we can do it. We have to do it ourselves.
But it's true, like you say, if you're not prepared to do certain things, you're not going to get any
You're
help.
not going to get nowhere. Me and her ain't going to get nowhere. Yeah. So we've got to do everything. Make it like,
Yeah.
and
So,
that's what we got to do
Do
as women.
the
Because
groundwork.
sometimes remember, it's easier being a man to do things
Oh,
in a
yeah, of
man's
course.
world.
And he's young.
Remember that, yeah.
yeah.
So we've got a lot of things behind us, so we've got a lot of wisdom.
It's where the mortgage. Let love
Yes, that's the track.
stay. Yeah.
Very
You want me
nice.
to do? You don't want me to toast?
Go on, go for it.
But no. see, winner rock and winner play. Oh no, I can't do it. We are Basti. Can't remember it.
It's a beautiful track, though. I
It is.
mean,
It is.
it literally stands the test of time, and
Yeah.
I'm
Hasn't
sure it's going to end up in some film or some kind of TV series. I mean, literally,
Yeah.
fantastic tracks like that,
Yeah.
so that stands the test of time.
Yeah,
Absolutely
okay.
wonderful.
Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
that's really good.
All right.
So
Raga
you
Khan.
became the Brown Owls. How did you decide to become the Brown Owls? I mean,
Yeah.
brown might be a bit self-explanatory, but I mean,
That
owls.
was we had this coffee and we were standing outside Portobello and I was talking about the label Portobello novella and I said, well, how many names did we go through? And I said, well, we should use play on the brown. What's brown? And then
Sounds too.
and I said brown, yeah, and then I said brown owls, and you said yeah, and then it was between saying two brown owls or just brown owls, the brown owls or two brown owls. It was like that, wasn't it? Really? And then we just jumped in on
So
the.
it was
concept.
I mean, so this time round,
'Cause we're
apparently it
older.
was pretty easy, really, wasn't
Yeah.
it? You just met, you clicked,
Yeah.
both you already had information.
Yeah.
You were ready. You got your name like that.
Yeah, because brown owls suggest that we're older and wiser.
Yes.
So we're trying to keep
Yeah.
that as a theme. We are older and wiser. Don't try
Exactly.
anything,
Exactly.
mate. We've seen it all.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the studio is the book itself, the
hmm
booklet, the promo booklet,
Yeah.
the promo tape in written form,
Yeah.
with a collection of some of your writings. So, how many pages is it?
Under 50. So
Okay,
that
so
is,
it's like you put it in your back pocket and read it, and you
Yeah.
get it done really quickly.
yes, but
Mhm.
but this is the thing, the depth of it. You've got to read it again. You read each poem and each piece and get the depth of it. And that's the zinger when you think something is disposable and then it's actually, made you think. If we talk about any one of these, if you ask us, I dare you, ask us any question about any one of these pieces, you will get a long old story about how we came to write it in the first place. And then you get the depth of the story.
Wow. I mean, I'm thinking, so you were used to doing more novels yourself.
Yeah.
But you're also a mixture of poetry and prose. And Diana, you'd written like this massive, big
Manuscript.
of like, it's over 1,000 now, 100,000, but it was 80,000 at one point.
Yeah.
That in itself is just a task.
Mm-hmm.
So why did you guys settle on short stories for this collection? Why not just write, just publish something much longer?
No, because it was a kind of, not a project. Well, it was a project, but it was to see how it worked.
Yeah, we need to see how we work together.
Yeah,
proper
well.
demo tape.
That's correct.
We're still getting to know each other. Even on this journey now, we're still getting to know each other, and I'm learning things even in this interview right now. And this is the beauty that we're just evolving. And by doing this, we've agreed it's going to be a series. So this is just the first one.
I feel like I'm on the journey now.
Yeah. We welcome you all.
There's going to be more to come.
Yes.
These queens going to be back in the studio. If you don't catch them here, you'll catch them on Portobello Radio, and I'm sure every other radio station in West London and probably further beyond. And beyond, all across the country.
Yeah, that's what we hope, that they'll want to assist us on our journey and listen to something we've got to say, whereas we may not have been listened to as much as we wanted to as in the music biz before. We've still got a voice. It's just finding another route, and
well, the message is in the music, it's in the writing, it's in the narrative, it's in the words. Word is power, they say. So can we hear some of your powerful words, my queen?
Sure. Do you want to go first, Diana?
Yeah, I think I'm going to
Which one?
Which one? Is it The Value of Life?
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Is it that one or is it the other one?
Value of Life, or what the Goddess is.
No, I'd like to do.
I like that.
I said it out loud on purpose.
It's time to set the record straight, because this is Feferity Radio.
Tell me.
Yes, indeed. You're listening to the Eclectic Goddess with the Speaker Truth Show, bringing you engaging conversation, eclectic music, and a Pan-African perspective. And I've got two amazing women in the studio who are going to read from their book, which is called Two Brown Owls. It's a collection of poetry and prose, and I've got Miss Diana Brown.
Okay, this one is called Value of Life. I'm going to try to read it without making a mistake. It's a very lovely little short story, and I'm going to start. Okay, so it's who knows anything? Who is anyone? What a strange existence. Pretend you're happy. Pretend you have it all. Pretend you figured it all out. Yeah, of course you have. Pretend it's okay. Oh look, the love of your life is flirting. Pretend it's all right. The love of your life is lying to you. Pretend it's okay. Your best friend has utterly insulted your intelligence. Pretend you can handle it. Your new boss seems okay. You found out he molested 3 of the office girls. Pretend that's okay. A few weeks into your new office job, your boss comes up behind you at the vending machine and puts his hand up your skirt. Pretend that's normal. He's only a man after all. You're famous now. You've had a baby with a producer. Pretend it's fine. He says he still loves you, but he's never at home. Pretend that's okay. He has been seeing another. Pretend that's okay. Scream and shout and let it all out, but still pretend you can handle it. Be strong, they say. Stay strong, they all say. Pretend you can.
Great.
You can't hear that, but there is clapping going out live on jingles, so it's going to be a few minutes. There we go.
Yeah.
So yes, that was Miss Diana Brown reading. The name of the poem was?
It was called The Value of Life.
The Value of Life, and obviously we had to give you a round of applause there. And I recognise a lot of those situations.
Yeah, there you go. You see, you take from your wisdom and you write it down.
And that is very, very much, what can I say? It really captures the zeitgeist, shall we say, of femininity, or womanhood, being a woman and being female and having to live in this situation. Well, pretend it's okay. Exactly. And it's interesting because you said it was a short story, but it read like a poem almost.
Yeah. That's right. Because it is and it is.
It's style.
Do you know what I mean? It's a short story and it's a poem.
It's style.
Words can be what they want to be.
Exactly.
Again, not being put into a particular box.
That's what art is for me. You know, being able to just do and say exactly what you want, as long as you're not upsetting anybody. Obviously, we've all got our kind of ideals and about life.
You're shaping the narrative. And so, Jaqi, my sister, are you going to read us something as well?
Yes, I'm trying to see what's short enough and what hasn't got any swearing in it.
Oh, the swearing doesn't matter.
Really? Oh, okay, then I will read that one then.
This is
My favourite.
Yeah, this is good.
Maybe we'll just have to
Bleep it out?
Beep, beep.
Beep.
No.
Yeah.
Let it be
Okay.
authentic and raw.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go. You asked for it. Okay, this one's called End Fucking Quote. Open quote. I'm alone in a dystopian world where my phone orders pizza. Amazon isn't only the lungs of the earth, but that which perma-altered our culture. Entertainment at my fingertips. From dating apps to gaming clips, go partying or watch it online from a sofa. FaceTime against the other side of oceans I may never go to. The strides made in medicine, the struggles in the distrust of them. Cars with GPS, A to Z out of print. Am I alone? Not according to drones or data sweeps. Ping a pound or two, instant banking. Space tourism on the horizon. Advancements supersede our will to slow down, then super speeds our modern history has shown. Hello, precipice. How much more in the name of progress is left to go? Are we there yet? Yet, skin is still a thing. End fucking quote.
Wow.
Thank you.
So basically, there's lots of clapping going on again. For you.
Fantastic.
So it
Thank you
goes
so
on.
much.
It's a long clap to
Oh,
make sure they
wow.
really hear you clapping.
Oh, I
and
really appreciate it. Oh my gosh.
it's fun having to operate all this stuff because you know.
Yeah, well done you,
I
Techie.
know.
I was just talking about that. Entertainment at our fingertips.
I just about learn how to manage it.
Wow.
Yes, that of course was lots of clapping for our sister Jaqi Loye-Brown. And what was that piece of? Was it writing? Was it poetry? How did you find
That
it?
was performance poetry.
Performance, and it was called.
End fucking quote.
Indeed, keeping it raw and keeping it real. So, how many pieces of writing are there in your book? And how many have you done each? And is there you both read something, is there like a favourite one or a less favourite one? And how did you decide what to put? There's lots of questions I'm throwing at you now.
Yeah, so I have to say I took over a little bit because Diana writes radical stuff out there. So she was taking me on the journey, and I tend to write about contemporary issues and social issues happening now today, and so I just sent you the brief. Right, just give me 5, 6, 7 of your favourite shorts, or go and write some now, and then see what we end up with.
So you were the editor as well.
Kinda, yes, I was kind of the editor, to be
So you
honest.
two had built a very trusting relationship.
Yeah.
Because I write poetry and your stuff is fantastic. But I know, I've never published anything, but I know that editing is so difficult.
Well,
And if somebody else is like, our poems are our kind of our little creatures, aren't they? So if somebody's playing around with your creature.
we did debate a lot, didn't we?
I think one of the ones, which is called Scrubs, was edited by actually
Yeah, Matt Trollope.
Matt Trollope, which is the guy that published our work. Sorry, and that was fine because it was kind of like a scary little piece, and I am not a murderer, but he is someone who he's a sleuth.
He's a
So he
sleuth.
kind of worked the end bit out.
You
But,
never kill a sound boy yet?
no, but yeah. But I think the other lot was maybe Jaqi had to put full stops and commas in some of them. But apart from that, I mean, yeah.
And I would just say, what do you mean by that? Oh, right, okay. And so maybe start the next line or something. So like move it around a bit and stuff like that. So, and then I'd still had to give it to Natural to edit.
Yeah.
And then he formulated what order they all went in.
Yeah.
I started with one, and then he was like, no, it needs to flow. The pages need to be here. Blah blah blah. So
Yeah,
we
that's
just
right.
left him to it.
So you can't go wrong with the colour.
No.
But it's, one could argue or could question, is a piece of writing ever finished? I don't know, how do you guys feel about it?
I think you do it and you leave it, and that's that piece of work, that piece of artwork. Because if you've got it in, if you know how to, well, if you're a writer, you've got so much to write. You can't keep going back and changing it, because then it defeats the object. You know?
I think what you're saying is, because you're a songwriter, you have to start the song and finish the song.
Yeah.
And it's short. It's a short story, a song. It's a short story and a journey. And so you have to finish it. You know that.
Yeah.
And I think that sensibility helps with the writing. We know when something's done because it's done. And we know there's another track coming.
That's
so
right.
we don't over get precious.
Yeah.
I think that's
true, because when I wrote my tunes on my album, you write the tune, you might fiddle about with it, but once it's written, you can't keep going back and changing it, because you will never have an album. And that's the same with writing a book or short
But
stories.
you think it's a different process? Because it was interesting, because like when you're writing music, I mean, you were writing together with
but it's a
Barry.
poem at the end of the day, a song, isn't it? It's a poem, it's a short poem, it's a poem, and it's the same.
But the editorial process is different though, isn't it? Because if you're doing a book, you're handing it to an editor often, who's whereas with a song, you're usually writing it.
But then you send it to a producer, but the
It starts,
producer will look at the book, at the
Right, so
song.
the producer is like the editor.
the mixer, the
Yeah,
engineer, the A&R
With the song,
say they
though,
don't like something, they want this out.
Yeah, with a song, once you've written the song, and it works, the song actually, the poem works, then that poem goes with music, But you can fiddle about with it, but that's it. It's the same with writing short stories. Not the same as writing a novel, because with a novel, you have to kind of edit it, keep editing things out, because otherwise it will be a novel for a million words. But with short stories, it's like you write it, you look at it, and it means something, and that's it, done. And then you go move on to the next one. Otherwise, we couldn't do it. Can't do this.
But you can do. It's definitely the musicality that creates the reason to end things, because most people can't end. They don't know where to end or when it's finished.
Yeah.
I think that's music that makes you do that.
It's like one of our creatures, our children, or our offspring, or something. Something we produced.
Well,
How do you put an end to it?
Yeah, in music, you know that you've got to let the baby go. That's one track. You're excited for the next. You feel like you've got a well of things, of material coming. So you sort of almost forget about that one. Oh yeah, that was nice. Yeah. Now what's next?
But this is all part of the wisdom. What you're both, the
Hello.
things that you're both spitting right now is literally part of the wisdom. Of the experience of knowing that there does come. It's kind of like boundaries almost. Putting something in.
Yeah, and we were in, and this is beautiful because we are in control. We haven't got loads of blokes moaning and complaining and pushing and shoving and got a younger singer coming along to do something, introduce, or just loitering around in the studio. We're just writing our own
I
thing.
suppose the two of you don't have to translate what it was like to live in the. I mean, you know what it's like.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we keep talking about this, but obviously we've lived through certain eras, so we remember the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. But for the youths, then, should we say, like even my daughters are in the late 20s and 30s, they don't know anything about the 70s and the 80s and even the 90s because they were born then. And so the two of you have a frame of reference that you share. Do you think that actually helped with the work you're doing? Or?
Absolutely, without question, it's easy. Sometimes you've gone, do you know them, Monty Jackson? I go, yeah. Nearly always. So the cultural references are
That's
identical.
The word, cultural references.
Identical, So we were there when, let's have a look. How many? I'm trying to think of one now. Just one. Well, Top of the Pops. We both knew, we were around for that. Lots of people don't really know what that was about at the time. So
It's Thursday.
yeah.
It's 7:30.
exactly.
Yeah.
Something like
7:30 or
that.
7. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I always remember it's Thursday night. It's 7.
Yeah.
It's Top of the Pops.
Exactly.
It was all run to the screen
Yeah.
because we didn't have many screens, young people.
Yeah,
There was
that's
no
right.
mobile phones and
Nothing.
tablets and
No recording
laptops
it
and-
later.
And
Nothing
we'd
like
be lucky
that.
if our parents were down watching Top of the Pops, because some
Exactly.
people's parents wouldn't even let them
Yeah,
watch
no.
it.
I couldn't watch Star Trek. I wasn't allowed Star Trek in my house.
I didn't actually
I,
like Star Trek.
I loved
I
it.
used to
Oh
like-
my God!
No,
What?
no,
I
I like
it.
Diana Brown, I will not speak to you on the street again.
I like Land of the Giants.
I love Land of the Giants. Would you be a
That's what I
giant or would you be the little people? Someone
I
asked
don't
me that
know.
once.
I don't know really.
I'm the big people.
Oh, you want to
can't
step
remember.
on, step on
No,
everyone.
no. I tell you what. When I grew up after watching that, every time I ever see a skirting, I always wonder if there's somebody running in to hide from the big
Do you
cat.
remember that was so good. That.
Still think
I
it.
wouldn't mind being the tiny people, but then
Yeah.
it's just like day-to-day things, like a fly is suddenly an enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
giant,
that's
you know.
right.
I loved
Yeah.
it. I loved it.
Land of the Giants.
Yeah.
Zachary Smith.
Yeah, exactly. That was Robinson, Space Family Robinson.
Oh, what?
With Zachary Smith, the scientist.
yes, Doctor.
Danger.
Yeah, wasn't that Land of the Giants?
No.
Oh, that's the other one. Yeah.
That's-
yeah.
Who was the one with
Space Family
Zachary?
Robinson.
Oh, I used to love Zachary Smith.
Yeah, that's it. With the robot.
Dr.
Yeah.
Smith?
No, Zachary Smith.
Yeah, danger.
Oh yes,
He's a
yes, yes, they did a
pincer.
reboot of that. Yeah, they did a reboot.
Reboot.
Oh, who knows? Maybe they were rebooting all your music from back in the day.
Yeah,
And
hopefully.
I actually wanted to play one of your tracks, Diana, but I think
Okay.
we need to hook you up on the
Okay.
on the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, which again we didn't have back in the day.
Yeah.
So there's some other tracks. Let's play another one of the tracks while we get this
Yeah.
track up and going. So you sent us
War.
War?
Yeah, it's War.
Last Poets.
Yeah, mine.
That's
That's what it is. Yeah.
That's Diana's Last Poets.
All right, I'm going to put the Last Poets on while we get the other track up on your phone because
Yeah.
your other one's here. So people, this is Diana Brown. Why did you choose this one?
Yeah, I chose. Why did I choose it? Because it's another kind of heavy tune which I love.
Oh my people.
Yeah,
Enjoy
that's
it,
right.
people. Right, what I'm going to
Love
do
this track.
is sort out the thing. Okay, I'm going to disconnect from this phone.
Oh, my people.
Oh, my people.
Okay, so now
What is your word?
all you need to do is switch on your
What
Bluetooth.
is your word?
No, if you switch on
What
your
is your
Bluetooth,
word?
My what?
Bluetooth.
Top of the earth.
No,
Are
it's
you
War.
like silver? Like smoke in the wind.
right, so
People.
when you're ready,
Yeah.
you can just get your track lined up and then I'll just put it
You
on.
can't be mentioned in your deeds and intent. One to achieve.
I believe there's only 21 minutes left.
I know,
21
so
minutes
quick.
to go.
Tell me,
21 minutes to go.
Yeah.
From the ends, and I
Yeah.
created this
People.
thing to make sure the voices of people of African heritage
Yeah.
or whatever to be heard.
Yeah,
To
this
prioritize
is
hearing our
some of these.
voices. And so actually one of my friends said to me, is it only for women? I was like, no, because I do tend to have a lot of our sisters on
Yeah.
things. I want people to hear what we're doing. And
Yeah.
okay, we got 17
people.
minutes. We're gonna
Okay.
play another track and we're gonna play your track and then
Yeah.
Yes.
you're talking about next steps then. What you're
Yeah.
gonna do and you two are gonna
Yeah, that's our next step is that we're bringing attention to ourselves to this very end.
see?
Never forget.
Just on that bold face journey.
Yeah.
It's Sagittarius, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, lose it.
My youngest daughter's a Sag. I'm not.
That's what I'm
What are
right.
you?
Pisces.
Oh,
Ah,
lovely.
Pisces.
I'm sure you're confused.
I'm Pisces rising.
No.
I'm a Pisces rising.
I'm an Aquarius. I know you're a Pisces rising.
Yeah, yeah.
your word.
Ah.
Oh my people.
People.
So yes, Last Poets, and they of course were.
Great choice.
Or are, because they were recording stuff up until a few years ago. Very radical African American people artists.
Very
Yeah.
good. I was impressed. That was very impressed.
So
Thanks.
yes, we've only got 15 minutes left, my people, and then the studio will be invaded and taken over by the man himself, Mr. DJ Freestyle, my style, your style, out of Freetown, Sierra Leone with his vinyl Saturday mix. So it'll be interesting to know what he's going to be playing. Or is he going to fling down upon the turntable and team? But before that, let's enjoy the next 14 minutes we've got left with these fantastic queens. The queens of Notting Hill, Ladbroke Grove, Portobello Road. I never know what to call it actually, because like
It's actually North Kent, isn't it?
It's
Actually
North,
Kent,
yes,
isn't it?
yes, North
yeah,
Kent.
North Kent is probably the best name.
Yeah,
isn't
it
it?
is North Kent.
Notting Hill sounding a bit like
Yes, no,
resorting.
yeah. Grove though.
Yeah. So yes, next steps, my sisters. What's happening next? You've got your demo.
Yeah.
The demo. What's the purpose of the demo?
Well, it's just to bring attention to, excuse me, ourselves as writers. This is what we do now. There's a lot of outcry that we haven't got enough diverse voices, enough diverse writers, enough diverse, till we're out of our minds with hearing the words. But the reality is we're here, we're right in front of you, and we're sending our stuff out, and we expect a response, and we hope that you're not going to hire us because, oh, we're diverse, but because, and that we're back in the boxes again, unavoidable, but that we've actually got something to offer. So we're giving them tasters with these releases. This is the first one, obviously, but there will be Prose 2, Prose 3, and hopefully by the time we get to Prose 4, we'll have an agent.
A huge collection.
Well,
the next step will be
we'll have an agent. So we'll have an agent. That's what we want. An agent and a literary agent, and hopefully a nice fat literary deal on our manuscripts.
And I mean, what are you going to do? Or
Yeah.
How do you see it as a challenge? I mean, I know you're Miss Boldface and you don't take challenges too easy, but is it a challenge, a real challenge to find an agent?
I just feel that it's more than one way to skin a cat. So we're both involved with lots of other writing groups and taking up the challenges of prompts and submission prompts that are out there from publishers. So we share them within our group, we share them with each other. So we just send our work off to those that are calling out for, we want unrepresented voices. And so then please send us your short story, please send us this and that and the other. And we've both been doing that actively.
Yeah, I mean, I've sent over 70 submissions.
Wow.
And 70, maybe 80, and they've all got back to me, which is really nice, and saying it's not really quite what we're looking for, but keep pushing and keep doing this. And if you've got anything else, let us know. And I am writing another book at the moment, but I'm not going to go into that yet.
Cards close to your chest.
Yeah, that's right.
But that is a very encouraging thing, because I know
is.
I've sent off, I've probably only done it 3 times. I've sent off a manuscript of my poems and I haven't had nothing back.
No, but you have
really.
to.
So I think the fact that you're even getting a response is a really good thing.
But they read the book. They read like a chapter or 2 or 3 chapters, and they know that I'm a writer. But maybe that just wasn't their stuff, or maybe I started the book wrong. So now I've rewritten. I haven't rewritten the book, but I've moved it around. I've edited it really good. So now it starts in a different way. So maybe when they read it, think, oh yeah, and that's how it goes. But there are black writers out there, and there are people that are interested in black writers. We just have to catch that. We have to catch it.
And you're more than we could come into this term, but you are. For all of us, we're more than black people. We're more than black writers.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's lots of voices.
Obviously, we've got African heritage, all 3 of us. But we're women of a certain age with a certain experience as well. So there's
I like to use the word hybrid for that. I say hybrid. We're a hybrid of personalities and experiences, and you can't just put that in a box at all. And you need to hear the nuances.
I mean, I don't like using the word black, because, as I said to you before, we're just humans. It doesn't matter about the colour of your skin. It matters what you do and how you portray yourself. But
and also, I suppose, obviously being dual heritage as well, there is this whole thing as to whether, if we are of mixed heritage, and especially if you have one parent who's not of African heritage, then what do you claim? Have you got, all this idea that are you, because actually it is weird, but it's just a reality in the world we live in. We didn't create it, obviously. Why did we get racialized as black? Even though you're mixed
race.
And you've also got you've also got an experience which comes from both sides of your family.
Yeah.
And you know, being a brown woman as
Yeah.
opposed to being a more melanated woman is also an experience in itself.
Yeah, because if I say to people that I'm Italian, they look at me and go, oh yeah, but you look Italian. Oh, you look Italian. I go, yeah, but I'm Jamaican as well. Oh yeah, you look Jamaican. Oh, but you're, you know, and that's just the way it is. I'm not bothered about none of that. Yeah, but I'm not ISIS. I just bothered about writing, being creative, and pushing on like that. And that's how I see myself. I don't see myself as anything. I just see myself as a human being who's got talent, and I want to share it.
And how much of you is in your writing?
All of me. Every single last part of me.
She's all in there.
Yeah.
What about
She's
you,
all
sis?
in. Everything.
You in your dirty sink jar
Yeah.
and all
Yeah,
that.
hello.
Yeah.
Well, there's quite a bit of me in it, and I'm used to. I've been collecting the stories in my head for ages, and so it was just a lovely opportunity to be able to have my voice out there. But I'm not doing it for others. I'm writing for myself. I love the process. I love writing. I always have. And what happens? Who knows? Maybe after I've gone, it'll be a collectible, or it'll be celebrated. But the point is that I've had a voice and I've got it out there. And lots of people my age group who are descendants of the Windrush, really, there was nothing for us, really. And anyone that has anything or made anything, you have to know there was a nasty little journey on the way to be double celebrated, not just celebrated.
Well,
So
you are immortalised. Your words are immortalised in print. And
Yeah.
not only, obviously, your words speak. I mean, as you said, Diana, you're in that. You're in those narratives. So your stories are there.
Yep.
So, you know,
Yep.
and you're always there. We've got like 8 minutes left.
Oh, no.
So I need to get
Enjoying
two
it.
tracks in. Probably might not play the whole of the tracks, but
Okay.
let's go with your track, Diana, and then we're going to try and slip in. Oh, now hang on, we've got your track as well. Okay, let's get your one in, and then we'll bring
Get
it down
yours
a little
in.
bit and then play yours.
yeah.
Okay.
What track is it?
It's called You Shouldn't Lie.
Let's go for it. Play it away. Okay, is that playing? Okay, one more time.
Leave it.
Yeah.
Don't touch it. That's it.
Three minutes.
So what we'll do, play this, shout out your social media handles and all of this stuff. Again, reiterate agent, and play your track way out.
Yeah, nice one. Okay. Perfect. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done,
You're
you
working.
too.
Yeah, you're working hard.
Yeah, man. Working hard for the
Doesn't feel like
girls.
hard work.
No, it doesn't.
I feel it's an honour. It's a
Oh,
privilege.
thank you. Same. That's slanting.
Beautiful.
Rhythm.
Everything's about lying and life and all that. It's always to do with that.
That's right.
Everything's about lying and being hurt, broken hearted.
Lies are some of the biggest problems in the world.
Yeah, they are.
And particularly with man and woman. Oh Lord, have mercy.
Unreal.
Like sometimes the most basic thing, and you're like, but why? Don't make any sense, does it?
Yeah, men rule the world. Men learn to lie when they're like 3 years old. When the first lie, did you throw the ball? When they learn, that's it, they never go back. They learn they got away with it. No, I didn't throw that
One
ball.
of the things I find is that, you know, obviously I'm very much a Pan-Africanist and very much all about race thing, but when they talk about a little white lie, you're
Yes.
like, yeah, really? If it's a white lie, it's okay? No.
Yeah.
That's maybe we should just try
Get
it
rid of that.
honest.
A lie's a
Try to be
lie.
honest with each other.
Well, as you get older, you know that's the only way.
And I've got to take us as we are.
Saves the drama at the end, just comes straight. Oh, God.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah. It's a similar
Again, you're
genre.
immortalised. No one ain't ever going to forget you. One day in 100 years' time, there'll be somebody
Yeah. We were in the car. Yeah. That's what I said.
So which one you gonna want me to play?
Natural Collie by Peter, what's his name again? Freddie McGregor, not Peter.
Yeah.
Freddie McGregor and praise to Benjamin Zephaniah.
I played a couple of tracks for Benjamin last week.
Yeah.
We were at a poem thing.
I took, we went to see it.
So, you ready?
Yeah.
Now that was a beautiful track. What's that called, Miss D. Brown?
It's called You Shouldn't Lie.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I love that track. Well done,
Thank
sis.
you very much.
Haven't heard it before. Can people still get hold of that track, or is it one of those like? It's an
No, you
obscure
can actually
special
get
one?
hold of it. I think you can. It was with Indochina, that it came out on Indochina. Yeah, I'm sure that they can find it somewhere.
Discogs, it's all there.
Yeah, they can find it there.
Okay, well, people, look, we're going to come more or less to the end of the show now. But before we do that, there's a couple of things. We need to get your social media handles. I'm going to reiterate, we are looking for an agent to get these books published.
Yes.
That's out there.
Our manuscripts published. Yeah. So thank you if you're out there.
Yeah.
We're ready to come in. We're in London. We're
And how
London
can people
based.
get hold of you? Like, also, like, get your music, whatever else.
Well, they can go to our link trees. So if you know Linktree, it is, and it's in the front of the book, which is available on Amazon. And look for 2 Brown Owls. We're the only ones that are going to come up on that, and so you can find us there. And our Instagram is Strada Street Fashion, STRADA Fashion on Instagram, and mine is Porto PORTO Novella NOVELLA on Instagram.
Wow, that was good.
So you two, thank you so much for giving up your Saturday and spending it with us at Feferity Radio.
Fantastic! Thanks for having us.
Lovely to see you in South London, because I'm used to seeing you Ponder Road in the end.
Yeah,
You know?
in the end.
Yes, thank you so much,
I just
Isis.
hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday, and sister Jaqi,
Yes.
that you are going to celebrate your Earth Strong big
Yes.
time.
Earth
You're looking
Strong.
all sparkly and gorgeous as it is.
Yeah.
People, believe it or not, next week my guest is also a Brown. His name is Kyle Brown.
Wow.
He is a bass guitarist who will be in the studio live and direct. So it's another Brown out of Jamaica. It's a Jamaican Brown
Yes.
ting.
Hello.
I'm gone.
You know.
What's that one? Yes.
And let's play out with this track that you chose, sis,
Yeah.
Jaqi, which is
It's called Natural Collie by Freddie McGregor, and I want to dedicate it to the late great Benjamin Zephaniah.
Yeah.
Give thanks. Have a blessed Saturday, ladies.
Thank
and
you very
let's play us out.
Bye everyone.
Rock, rock.
Love this track so much.
Can you believe how quickly it goes?
Beautiful.
You love this tune?
Can I get all of you
I
together?
love this tune so much.